What if your business is not actually a business? What if it is a hungry machine? A machine that eats your time, your energy, your savings, your weekends, your sleep, and somehow still asks for more money next month. You started with a dream, freedom, control, income, maybe even the pride of building something that was truly yours. But somewhere along the way, the dream quietly changed. Instead of the business serving you, you started serving the business. You work harder, you sell more, you take on more clients, revenue goes up, and yet, at the end of the month, you look at the bank account and wonder, where did all the money go? That painful question is exactly why Profit First by Mike Michalowicz hits so hard. The book is built on one simple, almost shocking idea. Your business should be profitable from day one. Not someday, not later, not after you scale, not after the next big launch. Profit should not be what is left over. Profit should come first. The big lie. Most entrepreneurs believe. Most business owners are taught a very dangerous formula: sales minus expenses equals profit. At first, it sounds logical. Make money, pay bills, and whatever remains is your profit. But in real life, that formula usually becomes make money, pay everyone else, buy more tools, cover emergencies, pay taxes, fix mistakes, reinvest everything. Then hope something is left. And usually, nothing is left. The problem is not that entrepreneurs are lazy. Most business owners work extremely hard. The problem is that the system is designed to treat profit as an afterthought, and anything treated as an afterthought usually disappears. Mike Michalowicz flips the formula. Sales minus profit equals expenses. That small change creates a totally different way of thinking. Instead of asking, how much profit is left after I spend, you ask, how can I run this business with what remains after I protect profit first? That is the heart of the book. Profit is not a reward for someday. Profit is a discipline for today. Your business can become a monster. One of the most powerful ideas in the raw draft is the image of a business becoming like Frankenstein's monster. At first, you build it with hope. You stitch things together. A website here, a product there, a few clients, some tools, a payment system, a little debt, a little stress, a little temporary chaos. And for a while, it feels alive. But then the creature starts moving on its own. It demands more money, more hours, more attention, more fixes, more software, more staff, more loans, more sacrifice. The business you created to give you freedom becomes the thing that traps you. And the scariest part? Many business owners think this is normal. They think being exhausted means they are serious. They think being broke means they are investing in growth. They think never paying themselves means they are being responsible. They think profit will magically appear once the business gets big enough. But Profit First challenges that belief directly. A business that cannot generate profit is not healthy just because it has revenue. Revenue is not the same as success. A company can have impressive sales and still be financially sick. It can look good from the outside while slowly collapsing inside. Just like Frankenstein in a tuxedo, it may appear dressed up, but underneath, the monster is still unstable. Profit is the proof that the business model works. Without profit, you do not have a business that serves you. You have a job you invented for yourself, and possibly the worst boss you have ever had. Why more revenue does not always save you. A lot of entrepreneurs believe the answer is simply more sales. If I can just get more customers. If I can just launch one more product. If I can just hit the next revenue level. But more revenue does not automatically fix a broken money system. In fact, more revenue can make the problem bigger. If your business has bad spending habits at $5,000 a month, it will probably have bad spending habits at $50,000 a month. The numbers get larger, but the pattern stays the same. This is why so many businesses grow into stress instead of freedom. They make more money, but they also increase expenses. They hire too fast. They upgrade too early. They buy tools they barely use. They take on debt to look more successful than they really are. Then they become trapped by their own overhead. The business gets bigger, but the owner does not get freer. Profit. First teaches that the goal is not just to grow. The goal is to grow healthily. A smaller, profitable business is often stronger than a larger business constantly gasping for cash. The dieting analogy. Why profit first works. Mike Michalowicz uses a simple analogy. Managing business money is a lot like managing food. Most people do not fail at dieting because they do not understand calories. They fail because human behavior is messy. We respond to temptation, convenience, habit, emotion, and environment. Business finance is the same. Most entrepreneurs do not fail because they cannot do basic math. They fail because their system makes overspending too easy. So instead of trying to become a perfectly disciplined financial genius, Profit First designs the environment to make better decisions automatic. The book uses 4 principles. 1. Use small plates. When people eat from smaller plates, they naturally eat less. They do not need to count every bite. The plate creates a limit. In business, your bank account is your plate. If all your money sits in one account, it feels like everything is available to spend. You see cash and think, we can afford this. But that is often an illusion. Some of that money belongs to taxes. Some belongs to profit. Some belongs to paying yourself. Some belongs to future stability. Only part of it is truly available for operating expenses. Profit First solves this by separating your money into different plates, usually different bank accounts. Instead of one big pile of cash, you create clear containers for specific purposes. Profit, owner's pay, taxes, operating expenses. This makes your money honest. You stop pretending the whole balance is spendable. You give every dollar a job before it disappears. 2. Follow the right sequence. In a healthy meal, you might eat the most nutritious food first. That way, your body gets what it needs before you fill up on everything else. Profit First applies the same idea to money. The old sequence is, revenue comes in, expenses get paid, profit gets whatever is left. The new sequence is, revenue comes in, profit is taken first. Owner's pay and taxes are protected. The business runs on what remains. This order matters, because what comes first gets protected. If profit comes last, it is always vulnerable. Every emergency, every impulse purchase, every must-have tool can steal from it. But when profit comes first, the business is forced to become creative, lean, and disciplined. Instead of asking, can I spend this? You ask, how do I make the business work within this limit? That question can transform everything. 3. Remove temptation. If you are trying to eat healthier, keeping junk food on your desk is not a great strategy. You can say, I'll use willpower, but willpower gets tired. The same is true with money. If your profit money is sitting inside your main checking account, you will eventually find a reason to use it. There will always be an emergency. There will always be an opportunity. There will always be a tool, a contractor, an upgrade, or a campaign that feels urgent. So Profit First recommends moving certain money out of sight and out of easy reach. The point is not to make money complicated. The point is to protect your future self from your impulsive present self. Because sometimes the best financial strategy is simply making bad decisions harder to access. 4. Set a rhythm. When you wait until you are starving, you overeat. When you wait until your business is in crisis, you make desperate financial decisions. Profit First works best with rhythm. You do not randomly check your money whenever panic arrives. You create a consistent schedule to review, allocate, pay, and adjust. This rhythm turns financial management from a stressful emergency into a normal habit. Instead of constantly wondering where the money went, you know exactly where it is going. And that creates something every entrepreneur deeply needs: peace. Profit First is not just accounting. It is behavior design. One reason this book is so useful is that it does not pretend entrepreneurs are robots. A lot of financial advice sounds good in theory but fails in real life because it depends on perfect self-control. Profit First is different. It understands that people spend what they see. We delay what feels uncomfortable. We avoid looking at numbers when they scare us. We tell ourselves stories like, I'll fix it next month. So the system works with human nature instead of fighting it. It creates boundaries. It creates automatic habits. It creates visibility. It creates small wins. And those small wins matter. Because when a business owner sees profit accumulating, even slowly, their relationship with the business changes. They stop feeling like a victim of their own company. they start feeling in control again. How to put profit first into action. The first step is not to make your business perfect. The first step is to tell the truth. Open your accounts. Look at the money. Look at the debt. Look at your real expenses. Look at how much you actually pay yourself, not what you hope is true, what is true. Then begin separating money by purpose. At a simple level, every time revenue comes in, divide it into categories: a portion for profit, a portion for your pay, a portion for taxes, a portion for operating expenses. The exact percentages can start small. In fact, they should start small if your business is financially tight. The power is not in being extreme. The power is in starting. Even setting aside 1% profit creates a new identity. It tells your brain, this business is designed to produce profit. That may sound tiny, but tiny habits are how big transformations begin. You are not trying to shock your business into change overnight. You are training it. Like fitness, the goal is consistency. Start small, repeat often, increase gradually, protect the habit. The hard truth about expenses. Profit. First will quickly reveal something uncomfortable. Your business may be addicted to spending. That does not mean you are irresponsible. It means the business has adjusted to whatever money is available. This is normal. When more cash comes in, expenses quietly expand. You upgrade subscriptions, hire help, test ideas, buy courses, improve branding, increase inventory, spend on ads. Some of those expenses may be useful, but many are just noise wearing a costume of opportunity. Profit. First forces every expense to defend itself. Does this actually create value? Does it help generate revenue? Does it save meaningful time? Does it improve customer experience? Does it support the business model? Or does it just make me feel productive? That last question is powerful. Entrepreneurs often spend money to feel like they are moving forward. But movement is not the same as progress. A business becomes stronger when it learns to do more with less. Not forever. Not in a cheap, desperate way, but in a focused, intelligent way. Constraints create clarity. When the operating expense account has a limit, you are forced to choose what truly matters. Debt. The monster in the basement. The raw draft makes another important point. Debt can quietly destroy the financial health of a business. Debt is dangerous because it creates the illusion of progress. You can borrow money and feel like the business is moving. You can buy equipment, run campaigns, expand operations, and look more successful from the outside. But if the business model underneath is weak, debt does not fix it. Debt only gives the monster more food. Profit. First does not say every form of debt is morally bad. But it does make one thing clear. Debt should not become the default fuel of your business. A healthy company should be able to create profit from its operations. If it constantly needs borrowed money to survive, something needs to be redesigned. Debt also steals from your future. Every repayment is money that cannot go to profit, owner's pay, taxes, savings, or growth. So if debt exists, it must be faced directly, not ignored, not normalized, not hidden behind revenue, not excused as just part of business. The goal is to build a business that breathes on its own. Profit first is also personal. One of the most important lessons from the book is that business finance and personal finance are connected. If your business is chaotic, your personal life often becomes chaotic too. You feel guilty taking money out. You delay paying yourself. You use personal savings to rescue the business. You carry stress home. You make family decisions based on business panic. That is not freedom. A business should support your life, not quietly consume it. Profit. First is ultimately about restoring the relationship between the owner and the business. It gives the owner permission to be paid. That matters emotionally, because many entrepreneurs are generous with everyone except themselves. They pay suppliers, employees, platforms, landlords, tax authorities, consultants, and software companies. But when it comes to their own pay, they say, "I'll wait." But if you always wait, the business learns that you come last. Profit first changes that. It says, the owner matters. Not in a selfish way, in a sustainable way. Because a business that depends on the owner being underpaid, exhausted, and anxious is not truly healthy. Profit first as a lifestyle. At a deeper level, profit first is not just a money method. It is a lifestyle of financial respect. It teaches you not to normalize chaos, not to joke about being broke, not to confuse busyness with success, not to accept stress as the price of entrepreneurship. It teaches you to build a business with boundaries, a business where money has structure, a business where profit is visible, a business where the owner gets paid, a business where taxes are not a surprise attack, a business where expenses are intentional, a business where growth does not require constant panic. That kind of business feels different. It gives you breathing room, and breathing room is underrated. When you are not constantly reacting to financial emergencies, you can think better. You can make better decisions. You can serve customers better. You can plan instead of panic. Profit creates stability. Stability creates clarity. Clarity creates better growth. The biggest enemy of profit. First, the biggest enemy is not the economy. It is not competitors. It is not difficult customers. It is not your employees. It is not even taxes. The biggest enemy is you. More specifically, your old habits. Because profit first is simple, but simple does not mean easy. At some point, you will be tempted to break the system. You will want to borrow from the tax account. You will want to skip the profit allocation just this once. You will want to justify an expense because it feels urgent. You will want to tell yourself that next month will be better. That is where the real work begins. The system only works if you respect the containers. Profit money is not emergency money. Tax money is not growth money. Owner's pay is not optional. Operating expenses must live within limits. This is where discipline becomes freedom. Not the harsh, miserable kind of discipline, the kind that protects you. Practical takeaways you can use immediately. Here is the simplest way to start applying the book today. First, stop judging your business only by revenue. Revenue is loud, but profit tells the truth. Second, create separation. Do not let all your money sit in one account where it becomes emotionally confusing. Separate money by purpose so you can see reality clearly. Third, start with a tiny profit percentage. Do not wait until it feels easy. Start small enough that you can actually maintain it. Fourth, review your expenses with fresh eyes. Ask which expenses are truly necessary, which are producing returns, and which are just habits. Fifth, pay yourself with intention. If the business cannot pay the owner, the model needs attention. You are not building freedom if you are permanently last in line. Sixth, treat debt seriously. Make a plan to reduce it. Do not let debt hide behind impressive sales numbers. And finally, build rhythm. Choose regular days to allocate money, review accounts, and make financial decisions. Consistency removes panic. The real message of profit. First, the real message of profit first is not be cheap. It is not never invest. It is not avoid growth. It is not hoard cash and play small. The message is this: build a business that rewards you for building it. That sounds obvious, but many entrepreneurs forget it. They create businesses that pay everyone except themselves. They chase growth that creates more stress. They celebrate revenue while hiding from the bank balance. Profit first brings the owner back into the equation. It reminds you that profit is not greed. Profit is oxygen. Profit is proof. Profit is protection. Profit is choice. Profit is the difference between owning a business and being owned by one. Final conclusion. Put profit where it belongs. If there is one lesson to take from profit first, it is this: do not wait for your business to become profitable someday. Design it to be profitable now. Not perfectly, not dramatically, not with some overnight miracle. Start small. Take the first percentage. Create the first account. Cut the first unnecessary expense. Protect the first dollar of profit. Pay yourself with respect. Face debt with honesty. Build rhythm into your financial life. Because every time you put profit first, you are making a statement. You are saying, my business exists to create value, but it must also create health. My work matters, but my life matters too. My company can grow, but not by consuming me. I am not building a monster. I am building freedom. And that is the real power of this book. Profit first is not just about money. It is about taking back control. So here is your next step. Before you move on with your day, look at your business or personal finances and ask one simple question. Am I putting profit first, or am I just hoping something will be left? That question may be uncomfortable, but it might also be the beginning of a completely different future.